Hi there, everyone, and welcome in to the Campfire. I'm Ashley Bullington, your host, and thank you for joining us for our Monday deep dives into districts from around the Metroplex. This week, we're going into 5A Division I, and we have some really great teams, as you'll be seeing them in our film session presented by Cricket Wireless.
The defending state champions, Denton Ryan, will once again be the top dog in this district. Despite graduating athletic machines Billy Bowman Jr. and Jatavian Sanders, the Raiders bring back one of the best defenses in the state. Speedy cornerback Austin Jordan shores up a solid defense with Anthony Hill Jr. and Mason Davis. They have a lot to replace on offense, but junior running back Caleb Hicks could be a strong force in the backfield. Frisco Lone Star will again be battling for the district title. Garrett Rangel will be entering his third straight year as the starting quarterback, and Ashton Janty will be his go-to receiver. Look for Lone Star versus Ryan to be the game of the year in district play. The last two playoff spots are up for grabs, and there are several teams in this 9-team district that are in play for them. Frisco Reedy has an experienced quarterback in AJ Padgett to lead the Lions. The last time head coach Chad Cole had that kind of experience behind center, his team went to the regional finals. The Colony finished third in district play last year and will be relying on running back Camden Wesley to help lead the way this year. A surprise team to look out for is Frisco Heritage. The Coyotes may push for a playoff spot as well, as they have big-time returning players at 3 offensive skill positions. Running back Sean Wara, quarterback Easton Sweetnam, and wide receiver Karsten Brewer should put up plenty of points, but can their defense shut teams down? Frisco Independence was a playoff team last year, but will have to battle to get back there with the graduation of Braylon Braxton and Elijah Arroyo. Frisco Wakeland is also always in the mix for a playoff spot and should be again in 2021. Frisco Centennial has dynamite sophomore running back Harry Stewart that will keep them in most games, while Denton, who went winless in district play last year, will hope to turn around their fortunes this year.
The film session is presented by Cricket Wireless. Smile, you're on Cricket.
The teams in 5A Division I are amazing, to say the least. They have some really great talent, and that talent comes from the phenomenal players. And now we have the players on the rise. Just meet some of them.
Garrett Rangel of Frisco Lone Star could be the cream of the crop for District 5A Division I. The Oklahoma State recruit is a seasoned veteran, as he had the Rangers starting job since he was a sophomore. Now as a senior, he is the undisputed leader of the squad. He threw for 2,400 yards and 27 touchdowns as a junior, giving him almost 7,000 career yards at the high school level. Another quarterback to look out for in the district is Frisco Reedy's AJ Padgett. The pro-style QB threw for 2,200 yards and 20 touchdowns at his first full-time stint as the starter. Now with a year under his belt, Padgett could make the Lions a serious playoff contender. At the running back position, Frisco Heritage's Sean Wara will be one of the tops in the district. On a Coyote team with tons of talented skill position players, Wara is not only a workhorse, but a leader as well. He ran for 936 yards and 7 touchdowns last year. Austin Jordan will lead an incredible Denton Ryan defense in 2021. Jordan was newcomer of the year as a sophomore, and last year was a unanimous all-district selection. His greatest attribute is his high-end track speed that allows him to stick to his man like glue. Jordan is projected to be one of the best DBs in the state and has NFL potential. He has offers from Ohio State, Texas, and Oklahoma, among others.
These players are phenomenal in District 5A Division I. I mean, obviously, some of the top tier talent in the country is in this district. And we are talking to one of the men who leads some of these great players in our Media Day segment, as the Frisco Heritage head coach Kenneth Gilchrist joins Word for Sold.
All right, Media Day, 5A Division I. We are joined with Kenneth Gilchrist, head coach at Frisco Heritage. Coach, how are you today, and how is the preparation going for spring ball?
I'm doing very well. We're really excited. We start on Monday at 6 a.m. with our first spring practice, so excited to see what the boys have done. They've worked really hard in off season through COVID and all the protocols they've had to follow, and put in some hard work. So we're excited to get those first 2 days in helmets out of the way, and then put the pads on Wednesday and see what they got, see some of our young kids and see what they're going to bring to the table next year.
Excellent. It's always a fun time of the year. What's not a fun time of the year is when you have to throw your team out there against a Denton Ryan and a Frisco Lone Star every year. Talk about how that district is looking this year. I mean, what were you going to do against Ryan last year? Nobody could do anything, so that was just the way it was. But talk about how you feel it looks this year. They had a lot of people graduate, and Lone Star had a few graduations. So talk a little bit about how you feel it's going to look.
Yeah, I still think 5A is if not the toughest, one of the toughest districts in the state this year. They did lose a lot at Denton Ryan, but their JV was undefeated, so they're just going to bring some more kids up. And Coach Hennigan's doing a great job over there, and then Coach Rayburn, he does a great job over at Lone Star. Got a ton of kids out, got a ton of playmakers back, and then Garrett Rangel at quarterback, he's one of the best in the state, so they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So from top to bottom, every week in our district, I think it's one of those that there's not a week you can go in thinking, I think, we can start preparing maybe a little bit for this game or that game. Every week's going to be a battle, and we're just hoping we're in the mix at the end.
Excellent. Well, hey, I wish you luck this season. Thank you for joining us. I hope you get a couple more wins to get a run at that last playoff spot or one of the last two.
Yes, sir. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for what you do for football.
No problem. Thank you.
Coach Gilchrist, thank you so much for joining us here on the Campfire. You can see the entire interview Thursday on our social media platforms. Up next, we have the district breakdown with the one, the only Professor Diggs.
All right, district breakdown. We are talking 5A Division I with our guy, Matt Diggs from theoldcoach.com. Diggsy, we know what the deal was last year. Nobody was going to beat Ryan in the entire state, but definitely in the district. And I know you also work in tiers. So how are we doing with Tier 1 and Tier 2 in this district, and who do you think is going to maybe come out on top?
Well, I have to make a little pun on the words because I think the tiers are going to go to Denton Ryan this year, the crying kind of a tiers, because I don't think they're going to be repeating as state champions this year. But you know what I really am impressed with Denton Ryan is, like, for the last 5 to 7 years, they have played a lot of sophomores. Even when they've made it to the 4th or 5th rounds about every year the last 5 years, and almost every year there's a core of 2 or 3 sophomores that really give them hope. And this year it was Anthony Hill, Jordan Bailey, and Colt De La Torre. And Anthony Hill, I think, is really going to be a special player.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the Frisco teams that are in that district that and figure out who you think might make those last 3 playoff spots, because this is a 9-team district, so they only have 2 games to warm up before they start getting at it.
And it was crazy last year. This was one of those, Odessa Permian coin flip back room kind of things to get the playoff teams. Very, very talented from top to bottom. I think Lone Star is the second team, and I think Lone Star and Denton Ryan this year are really, it's going to be a main event kind of a game. I see you with your camera there and just loving the highlights for a Lone Star Denton Ryan game. But from there, I really like Frisco Wakeland. I think they're a team on the way up, and Frisco Reedy also is a team on the way up for me. They got a quarterback, AJ Padgett, coming back. I also think the Colony might kind of sneak in that 4th position.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to next week as well as we talk 6-5A Division I. Thank you very much for joining us, Diggy.
Thank you for having me again.
So exciting to break down District 5A Division I, but we have some great content coming to you all week long. You can find it on our social media platforms. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And then next week, we'll be breaking down District 6 5A Division I. But until then, I'm Ashley Willington, and thank you so much for watching the Campfire.